Welcome to the Coffee Hour, a show that involves you in verbal interaction. We have the 2020 feature, sports with Brian Camp, and entertainment news with DJ Pete. So settle in with coffee in hand, and enjoy the Coffee Hour. Now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, TGIF. It's Friday once again. How are you? I'm glad to have you here for this brand new Friday. My name is Frank Allan. We're coming to you live from New York City as we do every Friday. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And of course, every Friday is a get together for all of us. You may be somewhere in your area watching and maybe just waking up. Maybe you're at work right now. Maybe you're getting ready for dinner or the commute home, or maybe you're getting ready for bed. We don't know because everyone's different time zone, but we are glad that you're here with us. We're coming to you as we do every Friday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. And of course, we're here to indulge in conversation. And of course, you are invited as well. You don't need a union card, credit card, or anything like that. Just drop on by and just check it out. And we're here. And we're here for you too. So if you have anything to say, of course, it's open exchange, free and open exchange. All you have to do is just type it in. I will see you right there up on the big screen, and I will entertain your thoughts, your questions, and your ideas. If you're very first time here with us, we welcome you back again and again. But the rest of you who have been here for the beginning, you already know the protocol. We're all over the world, no matter where you roam. We're here on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram as well. We're going to explain Facebook later on in the program because we're not on live Facebook for a while, at least for another 36 days. And we'll explain that a little later on as we go along in the show. But for the meantime, we're here live on YouTube and we're here live on Instagram. And if you're watching us on YouTube, let me suggest that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's easy. The more the merrier. All you have to do is look down there. If you look at the bottom, right? You're watching us live on YouTube. You see at the bottom, you see there's a little photo. That's me wearing red, all right? You click on that photo and it will instantly subscribe. All right, that's all you have to do. So you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to leave any place. Do it right there, right now. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, follow us every week. And of course, you'll never miss a show as well. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. We've got so many things happening today. We're going to engage in conversation if you like, of course. We are going to talk to Brian Camp, who will be here not too far away in the show. In this half hour, 20 minutes past the hour, we have our 2020 feature. Brian Camp leads it off with Sports Update. He'll bring you the latest developments in today's world of sports that's coming along. And we'll talk about a lot of things because baseball is back in town, and then he has other sporting events to talk about. We're into March Madness. He's going to talk about all of that. So we'll wait for him to come into that. 20 to the hour, the second part of the 2020 feature features DJ Pete with all of his information on entertainment people and reciting all of the birthdays people are involved in this week. However, he won't be here today, so we're going to do the full coverage for him. He sends along information when he's not here, and so we have just that, and we're going to pass that along to you a little later on in the program. Also, we have all of those great classic movies that you enjoy so much. Direct from Turner Classic Movies, I have a few to talk to you about, and just to brighten up your weekend, we'll just put that as part of your entertainment. So you'll have something to do this weekend. Now, you may be in good weather where you don't need it. We don't know. And you're going to be out and about. Maybe you'll be in inclement weather where you have to stay home for the whole entire weekend, which I hope is not the case. We always wish the best for everybody as far as the weather's go. But we have all of that coming up for you. Now, if you're going to join us in conversation, no matter where you are, except from if you're in New York, don't worry about it. If you're in New York, don't worry about it. We always ask people, give us the weather forecast wherever their location is. You may be in a different town from me. I'm in New York. You may be in a different town, and we would like to know that weather forecast where you are so we can kind of like keep up with you. And even if you're in another part of the country, we like that as well. But we're going to give you our weather forecast. I'll be doing that. So New Yorkers, don't worry about that. That'll be okay. So ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, we raise our cups, ladies and gentlemen, because lady, ladies and gentlemen, what would the coffee hour be without a little coffee? So salute, and excuse me while I shoot up. Oh, that's delicious. That's delicious. Hey, don't mind the writing here. Don't mind that writing. Forget about it. Don't mind it at all, okay? Because it's real coffee. It says a whiskey well earned, but this is coffee. I promise you, it's coffee. A whiskey well earned. Well, go figure. The weekend is coming up. It's been a long week. You know, do the math. Anyway, we thank you so much for being along with us. And as I said, we're going to have all of those features we were talking about. We're going to do right throughout the show. And of course, we all get together each week. And again, for those of you who are just popping in right now, making it a point to be here every week with us, because we're like family here. And whether you're new or not, you're just as strong bond to us as everyone else. And again, we're all over the world. Well, you know something, we talked about our weather, which I'll give it to you in a few minutes. And right now, the weather looks good here in New York City. I hope it's good where you are. And summertime is coming around, all right? We already set our clocks over an hour. We set it up an hour a couple of weeks ago. Yes, we did. And so we get a little more daylight. So the days are longer and the nights are shorter now. Summertime, well, first of all, springtime is coming up. Summertime will be right behind it. And we look forward to a lot of things. I know wherever you are, you may have a lot of festivities going on for your summertime action. Here in New York, we used to have street fairs. We don't no longer have street fairs. I don't know, they must have stopped that. They put that away right away. I don't know. It was such a great thing to do. People used to come from all over town, out of the outer boroughs, just to come into Manhattan to see the street fairs. And I'm pretty sure they had some in Brooklyn and Staten Island and all of that. But here in Manhattan, they just canceled them. I don't know. I don't know why. I wish they would bring them back. Street fairs were a great thing to have because there was always those vendors that I liked. And you could buy anything that you could think of, you could buy from vendors. They had different vendors. You can buy anything from old record albums, CDs, to jewelry. Women love the jewelry and they love to watch and get those fancy jewelries. And they have the stands for jewelry. You also have the fruit bar stands, you know, a health bar where they serve you health drinks, things like that. They also had, oh, my favorite, the Italian sausage and peppers on a hero. My favorite. Hey, you know something? I just decided what I'm going to have for lunch today. Now I got the craving for it, but that's one of my favorites. But anyway, we don't have that, and we have to create other things, but we do have Coney Island. A lot of people are going to be headed off to Coney Island. People are going to go to the beach. There's a lot of beaches and so on. And if you're in California, of course, particularly my favorite part of California, which is has the beach area over there. It's Santa Monica. I love that part of California. So you have the beach over there. I'm sorry, Las Vegas, I love you. And I will always be there for you, but you have no beaches. You have no places except for the Strip, all right? But you know, Las Vegas is a small town anyway. It looks big, but it's actually small. It's an oasis. It's a big oasis in the middle of the desert. That's where it is. And those of you who know Las Vegas, you know Las Vegas Boulevard, that's the Strip. Now, Las Vegas Boulevard goes beyond the Strip. You know, you can go off that Strip. As a matter of fact, if you ever drive in Las Vegas and you're on Las Vegas Boulevard going south, right? If you're going south, and when you get at the end of the Strip, everything else is desert. Oh my God, it's desert. I mean, listen, you better go there. If you ever have to ride through there or go through there, there are very little cars that go through there. And at night, I'm pretty sure there's nothing. You have to go on high B. That's how the desert is out there. And once you get off that Strip, every once in a while you pass a little houses and things like that, more establishments and things like that. And then it drifts off and it goes to absolutely nothing. Nothing is out there. Sometimes you don't even see an oncoming car. Very little. You know, but if you have to travel that way, make sure that you have a tank full of gas so you can get out of there quick. I would hate to see someone get trapped in a desert like that. Oh, it's frightening. It's frightening, but you know, that's how it is. In California, okay, you guys, warm weather, looking forward to that. I know you guys are looking forward to that. And speaking of Vegas, you know, when you stay on the strip, you know, you're gonna have a lot of fun there. And Arizona, you know, it's a lot of heat out there in Arizona, and of course in Nevada, a lot of heat. So if you can stand the heat, you can stay in the kitchen. If not, find another place to go where the climate is not so warm, but you'll do fine over the summertime. I know a lot of people who don't mind the summer weather, like me. I love the summer weather. I don't care how hot it gets. It depends on where I am. Now here in New York, the weather, when it gets hot and the humidity rises, that's when you're in trouble. You know, you can go to certain places, as you already know, where it's really hot. You could stand at like 115 degrees and no humidity. You know, for instance, I say like in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, the weather out there, first of all, there's no shade in the desert. You already know that. But the heat is up there, but no humidity, so you don't perspire as much. But here in New York, we're surrounded by water here in New York. We are surrounded by the East River, the Hudson River, and we're surrounded by water. So in the wintertime, it tends to get a little cold because of the water. In the summertime, it gets a little sweltering when the humidity goes up because of that weather. Anyway, we find ways to check out everything. We find ways to make sure everything is fine. Where this way, we could enjoy summer in a comfortable manner. You could find ways, and those of you who live in places where air conditioning is essential and you need that, you know, it's just like certain places where you live, you have to have a car. Here in New York, it's not one of them. But there you go. So we look forward to all of that and other things that are about to come. And we celebrate, and speaking of celebration, before we even talk about celebration, I just want to bring this out to you. I mentioned it on the show last night on Talk Back Live, and you probably heard about it just 2 days ago. Former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright passed away. You already know that she passed away from cancer at the age of 84. And the family at this particular time are not giving the information on what kind of cancer she died from, which is really not important. It's really not important. But if they tend to want to do that, let out that information, fine. They won't even give you the information on where she was when she passed away. And we have to respect the privacy, but we will miss her, former Secretary of State. And by the way, she was the very first female Secretary of State, the very first female. Madeleine Albright passed away from cancer at the age of 84. So our condolences go out to her family and friends and all other politicians who knew her and loved her and worked with her. So we send out our condolences out to them. Now, celebrating, we talked about celebration. We are still in the midst of Women's History Month, all right? We're still in the midst of that. And Women's History Month, oh boy, so many great women have done so many great things in history. I mean, long before women were emancipated, long before that, they've been doing great things. And finally, here we are in the 21st century, and women are up there. There's more to be done. There's more to be done, and we've got to work on getting those things done right. Women are working in jobs that only men had worked. They used to call it man's work. You know, women work those jobs. Women are construction workers now. You know that they are. They're construction work, and they do pretty good at it. And they're doctors and lawyers. And last night I talked about powerful women, and the one that came to mind was Oprah Winfrey. There you go. Now there's something to celebrate. Who can get more powerful than that? So we celebrate that, and there will be women behind Oprah Winfrey will follow in her footsteps, be wealthy and strong and liberated, and rule the world. Who knows? Who knows? Listen, I don't care who rules the world, just as long as it's taking us in the right direction, whether it's man or woman. And we look forward to a lot of things. Like I said, we do have a lot to work on right now. We never had a woman president, so we have to put our shoulder to the wheel and make sure that happens eventually. And who knows, that may happen in the next 3 years or so. Who knows? Kamala Harris may be running. She didn't say she would, but who knows? Who knows? Hillary almost made it, almost made it. As a matter of fact, as far as I'm concerned, she made it, you know, but then, you know, that's another story. That's past tense. We're not going to cry over spilled milk. And other women do a lot of things. So if you know a woman right now, maybe she could be in your family, maybe she works at your workplace, or maybe there's someone that you know that she's been doing great work for years and years. Why don't you tell us about it right now? Type it in and I'll see it and I'll acknowledge that. Let's acknowledge our women. Remember that women, first of all, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be here. We know that for a fact. So I want to salute all of the women from everywhere, all around the world, who are doing great things and not letting anything get in their way, stand in their way, or block them from succeeding in life. They're all doing it. And you notice that a lot of young women, they come out of high school, go into college, and while they're in college, they're working on their entrepreneurship. They're working on a lot of things. So yes, women. And men, of course, they've been doing it for years, but now, you know, we got to take our hats off to the ladies. Okay, thank you. And again, happy Women's History Month. And we're just about at the end of it. But I tell you what, we should celebrate that every day. Just as the other things that every month an event happens, like they celebrate Black History Month, which we had last month, or you have whatever it is, monthly. Let's celebrate it every day. Let's keep an open mind every day and encourage our women, you know, to do better and to be wiser. Let's encourage them, and everything will be fine. So once again, happy Women's History Month to each and every one of you. Okay, again, I did ask you, like, ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to chime in with conversation, we really would appreciate it. We don't mind. We would love that for you. We'd love to hear from you. What we want you to do, though, we want you to give us your weather forecast if you're out of town, out of New York, all right? I'm going to take care of the weather forecast right now here in New York. But if you're out of another town, another city or something, another country, give us a weather forecast. Now, that's not mandatory because you're watching the show. It's not mandatory. But that's something that we would like to do. We would like to do, okay? All right, let me give you my weather forecast right now. We're looking at 49 degrees. That's what we're looking at now, 49 degrees. And so far, the weather is looking good, okay? And so this is what we have for the moment. We have sunshine, and that's to start the day. Sunshine to start, and then a few afternoon clouds will come along. We'll have a high around 63 degrees. Winds will be west at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. We'll have a low near 45 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, Saturday, considerable cloudiness, occasional rain showers in the afternoon. That just say occasional. We'll have a high 53 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest, or west-southwest, I should say, at 10 to 15 miles per hour, and the chance of rain will be 50%. And for Saturday night, a few clouds will be developing. We'll have a low 39 degrees. Winds will be west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend, of course, it's not a bad weekend here. We wrap up our weekend for Sunday, partly cloudy skies during the morning hours, and we'll be becoming overcast in the afternoon. We'll have a high 47 degrees, but it will be dry. And winds will be west-northwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour, and we'll have a high gust possible. High gusting will be possible. So that's our weather forecast. And repeating our current temperature, we have 49 degrees in our town here in New York City. For those of you who would like to chime in and be part of us, give us your weather forecast. And we want to say hi to each and every one of you who are watching right now, wherever you're watching. Again, we're on YouTube. We're live on YouTube and Instagram, and we're not live on Facebook at the moment, which we will be in another 36 days from now. But we're going to talk about that later, okay? We're going to talk about that later on in the show. And we'll tell you what happened. Those of you who usually follow us and look forward to us and couldn't find us wherever we were, couldn't find us. That's what's happening. We're in what they call the jail. We're in what they call the jail. And so, therefore, we're going to try to get out of jail, get out of the orange jumpsuit. In the meantime, while we're trying to peel all of that off, we're going to go to Charlotte, North Carolina right now, right there. And he's right there in person, and it looks like the sun is really glowing over there. Yeah, he has to adjust his camera. And Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. That sun looks pretty strong today.
Well, you know what it was? As soon as you put me on, that's when the sun came out. Oh, the ratings. The sunshine pops out. Just as you just put me on, that's what happens. But this is what's going to go on all day with the sun. It's going to be peeking in and out the clouds all day. Going to have nice weather. Right now it's 54 degrees, going to go up to 69 today. And we just got through a lot of rain early in the week, but just in time for yesterday and for today, and just expect a nice weekend. So good morning to you, to everybody out there, Pete, everybody else that's out there. I greet you, good morning. This is March Madness. This is March Madness. When I say March Madness, if you've been following college basketball for a while, you know it is crazy. The top teams are being bumped off. The Cinderella teams, as they call, are coming up out of nowhere. These small schools, St. Peter's of New Jersey is in the Sweet 16, and they are going to be playing today to try to get into the Elite Eight. So it's going to be fun. Make sure that you watch it tonight. It starts tonight, and let's have a ball. But let me get to a couple of stories. We don't have that much sports. In the NBA, New York City Mayor Eric Adams is under a lot of fire. Now, even the former mayor, de Blasio, had put down this mandate about trying to cover up your masks in the schools and the players. And so when the newly elected Eric Adams became mayor, he had a chance to lift these here mandates away, but he chose to stick with them. So he's doing it little by little, but he's getting criticized. Now, what he's doing is that he remains optimistic about the COVID-19 related numbers as he's seeing. The city professional sports teams are going to have to wait their turn. Well, that's been changed. They have lifted where they can play Kyrie Irving for one. And if I recall, Aaron Judge and what's his name? The other first baseman's last name starts with Rizzo, are not vaccinated, but they are able to perform and to play without being vaccinated, and because being outdoors have a lot to do with it. Now, the problem is a lot of people got fired back in New York city jobs, like police officers and firefighters and all other city agencies got fired because they're not vaccinated, and he's under a lot of fire. But he's allowing the sports world, these sports athletes who are not vaccinated, to play starting this weekend with Brooklyn, Kyrie Irving. And Rizzo and Judge will be playing as well. You know, the Yankees is a huge organization. They're probably the most worth sporting team in all of America. So that's where we stand. WNBA, Brittany Griner is doing well. As U.S. officials were able to visit her, she's doing well. They reported this on Wednesday. She's still in custody since February 17. Charges still she's been allegedly smuggling vape cartridges containing Harish oil into Russia. So right now she's doing well. We don't know when they're going to have her trial. So that's where we stand. It's a lot of political stuff between the two countries, excuse me, between Russia and the United States. And right now, so it's just a waiting game. It's just a waiting game to see how things go. But this day in sports, March 25th, 1937, Quaker Oats, you know, Quaker Oats with the oatmeal and all that good stuff, and pays Babe Ruth $25,000 per year for its ads. So Babe Ruth was had endorsement back then. 1958, Sugar Ray Robinson's the first boxing champion to win 5 times. He held that 5 times he won as champion. 1971, Boston Patriots becomes the New England Patriots. Yes, they were once called the Boston Patriots. They still play in the Massachusetts area, but now they are called the New England Patriots back in 1971. 1972, UCLA men's basketball team wins its 6th consecutive national basketball title. 1988, actress Robin Givens demands full access to then her husband, Mike Tyson's, for his money, because she wanted to have full access, I guess, to be in control. Some women just want to be in control of everything. So that's how that works. 1995, Mike Tyson is released from jail after serving 3 years. You know, if you know about the beauty pageant back then, he was accused of rape and, you know, sexual assault back in 1992, and he was released on this day in 1995. Birthdays: 1955, former baseball player Lee Mazzilli was born in Brooklyn, New York. Yes, Brooklyn, New York. In 1965, Avery Johnson was born in New Orleans, Louisiana. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is sports. I know it's a short one, but March Madness.
March Madness. Okay,
yes.
that's we're gonna have too long for that before it's all over, but
yes,
enjoy it while it lasts. Are you telling me that Babe Ruth, Quaker sponsored Babe Ruth?
Quaker Oats pays Babe Ruth $25,000 per year.
Oh, he was endorsed. He was endorsed.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I wonder if Babe Ruth ever ate any Quaker products, because I was gonna say he was bigger in the hot dog field. He would have been better off being endorsed by the hot dog companies and maybe some of the beer companies.
I agree. Yeah. You know, who knows what else he ate other than hot dogs and beers, and because you know, back then in those days it was prohibition. What is it called when they outlaw alcohol? Prohibition. Yeah. And but it just made him a better player for whatever reason. It was illegal, but he sure down a lot of hot dogs that we do know.
And that's supposed to be like a no-no in sports, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know something? None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. Athletes are not perfect. I mean, they try to do their best to keep their bodies up to a par where they could continue to perform their art. But no one is perfect. We do, listen, whether you're a sports figure or whatever, we all eat things that we're not supposed to eat.
That's
Let me
right.
tell you something. The other day, as a matter of fact, just last night, I didn't eat a whole load of them, but I like jelly beans.
It's that time of the year.
Yeah, I mean, even, you know, it's not even a seasonal candy, because you can get it any time of the year anyway. And I used to like shove them. I just used to keep on coming. But now that, you know, I'm old, I can't do that anymore. Keep my sugar level down, you know, so I don't go, you know, croaking or anything because of the high sugar level. But every once in a while, I like, you know, chop on some jelly beans. And I love ice cream.
My favorite jelly bean was the purple one, the grape one.
You like the purple?
Never miss a grape.
I used to say that all the time.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
I don't know. You know something? I like the black ones. You know why? Because it has that great licorice taste to it.
It's like a licorice.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but when you buy jelly beans, a lot of people don't realize when you buy jelly beans, you got to watch out because you may buy the jelly beans that you don't like. They come because they come in two different kinds. They come in spice and they come in the fruity kind. You know.
Yes, they do.
And I don't particularly like the spice jelly beans. There's just something about it. It's just like something about popping a red jelly bean when you're looking for that fruity, that fruity taste, right? Which the red jelly bean is fruit punch. When you pop it in your mouth, you're not realizing you're eating cinnamon. And that's
cinnamon, yeah.
And that's what happened to me one time. I bought jelly beans without looking at the package saying spice instead of fruity. But yeah. But anyway, go back to saying we're all imperfect. We all eat things that we shouldn't, as long as you don't do it every day. And
right. I have 3 movies that I want to bring up to you before I leave. I know I'm running short on time, but you mind if I give you 3 movies for this weekend?
Go for it.
Okay. The first one is The Candidate. That's coming on tonight at from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock on TCM. The second one is right afterwards, believe it or not, that tonight is Fiddler on the Roof, and that's on tonight. And then on Sunday on FX, not TCM, but FX, you got the classic Cleopatra with the beautiful late Elizabeth Taylor and her late ex-husband for 2 or 3 times, I guess they were married, Richard Burton.
Yeah.
Richard Burton, classic. But there's a lot of them coming on. I'm pretty sure you're going to name yours as well too.
Yeah, you know that Cleopatra. I don't mind. Listen, I don't mind Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra. I don't care. I don't care. You know, but don't make a big deal when what's his name? I can't think of his name. He's a black English actor. Can't think of his name offhand, but he played in that movie Obsessed with Beyonce. Anyway, he's an English actor. He has an English accent too, and he was up for a Bond role.
Oh, you talking about Idris? Yes. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot it. Yeah, Idris.
He was up for a Bond role, and people were bitching about it.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to understand they wanted him to be the Black James Bond.
Yeah.
They not too long ago. Remember the TV series 24 with Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah.
He was Jack Bauer.
Yeah.
They tried to do a black version of Jack Bauer. It didn't last. It only lasted 1 season. It barely made 1 season.
Yeah.
And some things you just got to leave alone. You know, my favorite James Bond was Roger Moore. I grew up, even though I know Sean Connery is the greatest James Bond of all time, but I grew up with Roger Moore. So Roger Moore would be my favorite.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But Elizabeth Taylor, she played the role pretty good, Cleopatra. Only Cleopatra was African American, and nobody said anything about that. But when we get a black Bond, you know, it's like, come on, you know, this is the 21st century. You know?
I get it. I know. It's just back then it was different. You know, they wasn't going to allow that back then. You know.
Yeah. But anyway, that's good to know. Cleopatra, and that's a classic movie, by the way. And
yes,
also
that'll be on FX, and that'll be on Sunday at 11:10 to 3:25 p.m.
11:10, and that's Cleopatra.
Yes.
And the Fiddler on the Roof, that's on what? That's on Turner Classic?
That's on tonight, back to back. The first one is The Candidate with Robert Redford, and right afterwards it would be Fiddler on the Roof. And
that's on a one time. Give me the time that they come on for Candidate.
Okay, The Candidate starts from 6 to 8 tonight.
Okay,
and at 8 p.m. tonight, right afterwards, it'll be Fiddler on the Roof.
Got it.
And if you want to get a little crazy, if you want to stay up,
that's on Turner Classics.
That's on Turner Classics. And also in the wee hours of the morning, I don't know if you want to look at Woodstock, but You know, I don't want to give up.
Now you're starting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't stop.
Okay.
That's part of
Okay.
it. All right. We'll talk about that, man. Okay.
All right.
Brian, thanks a lot. We are going to catch you back here next week, but at least on the other show, Talk Back Live. We'll catch you then. All right.
Enjoy everybody.
Yeah, have yourself a great weekend. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Of course, he's here every Friday, and he brings you that's part of his 2020 feature, you know. And of course, he does that very well. He's also, you can check him out also when he comes on my show on Thursday night, Talk Back Live. He does sports then. So we just wrapped up the first half of the 2020 feature. We have the second half of the 2020 feature coming up. DJ Pete normally does that with the entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. However, he's not here, but Pete, DJ was kind enough to leave information as well. So we are going to cover for him as he goes on his journey, making a little money. He's getting rich, and he may not even want to come back here after he gets rich. Well, we'll see about that. Anyway, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, we're here sipping coffee and having a lot of fun, great conversation. And excuse me while I shoot up a whiskey well earned. And look at the other side of it. Anybody recognize that? I'm not promoting anything. I shouldn't even hold that up. Anyway, the coffee is in it, so I have to drink it. Anyway, and just in case a lot of you are watching us on different places, we're on Facebook, which I'll explain later. We're not live on Facebook, but I'll explain later why we're not live. You can catch us, you're watching us on YouTube. We're live on YouTube, we're live on Instagram, and we thank you for being along. Now, those of you who watch us on YouTube, you're YouTube fans, and a lot of people are YouTube buffs. They go around not just watching this show, but they watch other shows. I watch other shows too. I like to watch other shows and see what other people are doing because we're all in the same area. So I like to watch them. Some people pick up on me, and then I like when we exchange ideas about each other's show, but everybody's show is different. You know, we approach it different. Some people have more entertaining shows than others. Some people have more entertaining shows than I. Who knows? I could be at the bottom of the barrel. A lot of people have been discovered from YouTube, as you already know, and a lot of recording artists. That's a good thing about YouTube. It gets out there. People know who you are. You become, as some people say, a YouTube sensation. I don't consider myself that. Never had, and even if people thought I was, I still wouldn't consider myself that. But people get around, and they go to work from it. And people are doing great things on YouTube. A lot of people are doing great things on YouTube, and this is a place too where you can find great music, great videos of sports, wrestling, and go back in time. I guarantee you can think about something and go back in time and find it. If you know the year, you can find, if not a full show, maybe you can find clips. And there are great movies too. Great movies, a lot of great movies. We think of a lot of movies too, and speaking of movies, we're going to talk more about movies a little later on. We'll tell you our picks of the week. Brian just gave us a few, but we'll talk more about the ones that I have, the picks of the week right here on Talk Back Live. So anyway, I did mention a fact. Oh, I did mention a fact, but I'm gonna mention it now because I think it's a great thing. This Sunday is National Puppy Day. National Puppy Day. You guys own puppies, dogs, little animals? You own them? Well, this is a good time to show them off. National Puppy Day. A lot of people are posting their faces along with their puppies. And I don't own a puppy. Eventually I will, but right now I want to make sure that I can take care of a puppy, because they need the attention as if they were babies, and they are babies, and you just can't get a puppy just for the heck of having a puppy. You have to take care of that puppy, make sure the puppy is well fed, well nourished, he walks, get exercise, you know, and since I don't have the time to do that just yet, I am going to do my part and decline not to get one, but then eventually I will, and then we'll be the best of friends. So it's National Puppy Day. That's tomorrow, this Sunday. So there you go. Okay, as you already know, ladies and gentlemen, DJ Pete is always on hand at this time. His part of the 2020 feature on hand. And of course, we like to fill in for him because he's not here today. But here's what he left us today on this day. Well, not on this particular day, but March 20th, 1951. Jimmy Vaughn of the Fabulous Thunderbirds is celebrating a birthday. Jimmy Vaughn. And Jimmy Vaughn was born on this day. And I believe he's still with us. Yeah, he's still alive. And he's an American blues rock guitarist and singer. And he was based in Austin, Texas. And of course, a lot of you like blues and you like the screaming guitars and blues and things like that. One comes to mind would be B.B. King. But yeah, Jimmy Vaughn, he was one of the ones too, and still active, I believe. I think he's still active. But they say he's from Austin, Texas, but then another place down here, he's in Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas. All right, I don't know if he was born there or what, but anyway, he played the electric bass too. So yeah, he was well-versed when it came to the guitars. So happy birthday to Jimmy Vaughn. And on the same day that Jimmy Vaughn celebrated his birthday on the 20th of March, Slim Jim Phantom of the Stray Cats, Slim Jim Phantom. The Phantom you can leave out. I love the Slim Jims. You ever had the Slim Jims, the beef jerkies? Anyway, Slim Jim Phantom of the Stray Cats. We all know the Stray Cats, a great rock group. On this day, he was born on this day. Now, this says on the 20th. Now, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to believe, whether he was born on the 20th or the 21st. Now, DJ Pete gave me the 20th, but I look here, and it's the 21st. Now, we're not always accurate, but the point is he's at the age of 61. He's 61 years old. And he was born, and I say it proudly, he was born in Brooklyn, New York. So there you go, Slim Jim Phantom of the Stray Cats celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday, Slim Jim. And on my way out, I'll stop at the store and buy me a couple. The late Eddie Money was born on the 21st, 1949. Eddie Money. He passed away, of course, as you know, passed away September 13th, 2019. He was 70 years old. Of course, Eddie Money was the American singer and songwriter who in the 1970s and 80s had even top 40 hits, top 40 songs, including Baby Hold On, 2 Tickets to Paradise. That was a classic, 2 Tickets to Paradise, which led him to do a commercial, and he sings the song 2 Tickets to Paradise. Also, he had a song called Think I'm in Love, and a lot more. The late Eddie Money. So there you have it, right there. Also, let's see as we go down the line, Eddie Money, Stick McGee was born on the 23rd of March. Now, Stick McGee, he may not be a household name. He passed away August 15th, 1961 at the age of 43 years old. Sticks McGee was an American jump blues guitarist, singer, and songwriter. Best known for his blues songs, Drinking Wine, Spody-Ody. That goes back a long way. Drinking Wine, Spody-Ody. He did that. That was also covered by a couple of R&B groups too. I remember that song, Drinking Wine, Spody-Ody. And that was Stick McGee. Great history here that DJ Pete leaves us. I'm kind of glad for it. What else do we have here? Okay, Joey Ambrose. Joey Ambrose was born on this day, or not on this day, but on the 23rd of March in 1934. And he passed away August 9th, 2021. He was 87 years old when he passed away. And he was known for his stage name, Joey Ambrose. his name was Joseph, the real name was Joseph D'Ambroso. And so he cut it down to Joey Ambrose. Either way, he's still legal. And he was the American saxophonist who's best known for being #1 rock and roll band, like Bill Haley and the Comets, all right, back in that era. And that's rock and roll, and that's how rock and roll began. And today, or yesterday, I would say, Harry Houdini was born yesterday, right? Well, not yesterday, but he was born on the day, March 24th, 1874, Harry Houdini. Now, if you don't know who Harry Houdini is, neither do I, okay? Like the guy that wraps himself in chains and breaks out of them, no matter how you do it, no matter how you wrap him up and put him in chains and put him in and dunk him in water, he won't escape. He was the escape artist. And Harry passed away October 31st, 1926, 52 years old he was. And he died in Detroit, Michigan. And so he was way before my time. I never knew and never saw his act, but I'm pretty sure if you go on YouTube, you'll find classic acts of his escape. And other people try to imitate him. They were people who had, in the past, in Times Square, pull up a big thing of water, go underwater and stay there for 3 days, maybe more, I don't know. So he started a trend. Also, March 24th, 1905, Pete Johnson. Okay, Pete Johnson. Now, Pete Johnson, I don't have a lot of information on Pete Johnson, except he was an American jazz pianist. Okay, and he was born in, I believe, in Los Angeles, California. I believe, I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of information here. I look at it, but I don't see a lot of information about it. But he was a jazz pianist. And so there you go. We also have, here's someone was born also on the 24th too, March 24th, 1912. Nervous Norvis. Now, there's got to be a real name for this guy, which it is. The real name was Jimmy Drake, but his stage name was Nervous Norvis. He was known personally as Nervous Norvis, and he was an American musician as well. And there's not a lot of information on him either. Some of these things, they go back in time, but they don't leave you a lot of information. And but you know, at least we acknowledge it here. At least we acknowledge it here. Okay, and let's see. Here's a good one. Today is the 25th, so it marks birthdays today. It marks birthdays today. So the 25th in 1934, Johnny Burnett, who was a rockabilly singer, passed away, of course. He would have been 88 today. He would have been 88 years old today. Now, Johnny Burnett was famous for that song, You're 16, You're Beautiful, and You're Mine. And Johnny passed away August 14th in 1964 at the age of 30 years old. So he had a great band. He was a rockabilly singer, but he got the fit in the rock and roll era back in the 1950s and 60s. So there you go. That's Johnny Burnett. Now here's one that I always remember by heart because, you know, she was my favorite. The Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, was born on this day in 1942. Aretha Franklin would have been 80 years old. Now I don't need to go back in time and look for her information because I know her. Aretha Franklin had a lot of big hits. Respect was #1, which was, of course, written and recorded first by Otis Redding. And then Aretha Franklin did it in 1968, I believe, or 69. 1967, I believe, Respect. And she did a lot of great hits, did a lot of soundtracks. She did Respect, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Loved You, and she done, which was also composed by Carole King. and a lot of great songs. I mean, you can go on endless. You could throw out a lot of Aretha Franklin songs. It's right there. She was one of a kind. Aretha Franklin, the queen of soul, always was, always will be, and there will never be another queen of soul. And as far as covering her records, don't even try it. You won't make it. Elton John was born on this day too. In 1947, Elton John, he's still with us. He's 75 years old today. Elton John, of course, did a lot of hit records out of England. In the UK, Elton John did great songs, a lot of great songs. One of my favorite songs by Elton John that he did was Genie. Remember that one, Genie? That was one of his great songs. I don't know how big of a hit it was, but that was one of the great songs. Also, in March 25th in 1851, this is the day where it was Greek Independence Day. Greek Independence Day. On this day, in 1851, Greek Independence Day came along. Diana Ross will be celebrating a birthday tomorrow on the 26th. She was born in 1944. She was born actually Diane Ross, but she cut her name down to Diana Ross. Diana Ross, formerly of the Supremes, became a super duper in her own right, and one of the queen of Motown, of the Motown era, Diana Ross and the Supremes. Happy birthday to you, Diana. Mr. Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Remember, it's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. Mr. Rogers, who's no longer with us, was born March 20th in 1928. And Mr. Rogers, of course, his name is Fred Rogers. And we used to have that show a lot of kids grew up with him. We didn't have a show. We had shows maybe sort of like that when I was growing up, but not exactly like that. But it was usually, I used to get a kick out of him coming into the playhouse and taking off his jacket, putting on his sweater, and taking off his shoes and putting on his little sneakers, and then the revert at the end, leaving the show. That's Mr. Rogers. Okay, so that's what DJ Pete, that ends this portion of the 2020 feature. And of course, every week, 20 to the hour, DJ Pete. If he's not here, the show goes on anyway. And we recite all the birthdays and talk about people in notoriety, people of entertainment. And thank you, DJ Pete, for that. And DJ Pete, by the way, has a radio show, and we invite you to listen to him. A great radio show, because the disc jockey has to start somewhere. He started, he made his mark, and you can catch him on www.radio-airwave.co.uk. I'll repeat that again. That's www.radio-airwave.co.uk. And that's on Mondays at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. You could also catch him on his hometown station of WMPG. That's in Portland, Maine. And if you don't catch the radio station itself, you could always go on their website and listen to the show as well. And that's on www.wmpg.org. And you can catch them there every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. all times Eastern, and times in time zones in the USA and Canada too. So there you go, DJ Pete. We hope to have him back soon. He's been away for a while, but he's making the ducats. He's making the ducats. What are you gonna say? He's making the ducats. Okay. All right. I just wanna also mention the people in Ukraine. The people in Ukraine, just wanna quickly mention that. People in Ukraine, we wanna keep our thoughts alive with them. So many people have passed away through this needless and disgusting war that was brought on by Russia. And I could see he's getting a little desperate. Now they're talking about, who knows, this could possibly turn to World War III. And nuclear power is not the answer. It's certainly not the answer. That's mass destruction right there. It can get not just the people there, it can get all of us. So let's keep our fingers crossed that the people in Ukraine succeed. They're not backing down. So I don't know if he's getting this through his head. He says, when they surrender, we'll stop, we'll cease fire. How many times do you not hear? Do you not hear that they're not backing down? They're not backing down, and I applaud them for that. I applaud them for that. And so many people, because they sacrificed themselves, women, children, men, women, and children, they're all dying out there. It's a war zone. So let's keep our fingers crossed. It's affecting the world here. This is worldwide. It's the biggest thing on the news right now. Every once in a while, they'll throw other tidbits out in the news, but this is like what's happening, and we got to keep on top of this every day. So our prayers go out to the people of Ukraine. You're brave. The men and women of Ukraine, they're brave, they're strong, and we will all get through this together. So there you go. Okay. Quickly, I want to mention the fact that earlier that I mentioned about the all of us are in jail because of this thing they put us in jail. So we're going to be back on Instagram. We're used from the Instagram. We're going to be back on Facebook in the next. We got 36 days left before we get out of prison. Of course, we already talked about this. It was a post that was discovered 2 years later, and they decided to block us on. But it's not like we're out of the loop altogether. This show will be posted on Facebook for those of you who normally watch Facebook. It will be posted. It's not like watching live, but at least this show will be posted on Facebook later on today. So look out for that. All right, this very show that's broadcasting live. Birthdays today, we have actress Locke Voorhees. Locke Voorhees. She's the one that played on the sitcom Saved by the Bell. She's 48 years old today. Actress Sarah Jessica Parker is 57. Actress Marie Cross, who also used to be a soap opera actress, she's 60 years old today. She's Marcy Cross, her name is. Okay. Country singer Ronnie McDowell, 72. Elton John, we already talked about that. He's 75. Anita Bryant is 82. Latin musician Johnny Pacheco would have been 87. Feminist Gloria Steiner is 88 today. Jazz drummer Paul Motian would have been 91. The rest of these people are no longer with us. Cecil Taylor, jazz pianist, would have been 93. Jazz saxophonist James Moody would have been 97. Former model Eileen Ford, who was a former model and then had her own modeling agency, the Ford Modeling Agency, she would have been 100. Jeannie Cagney, actress, also the sister of James Cagney, would have been 103. Howard Cosell would have been 104. Nancy Barbato Sinatra, Frank Sinatra's first wife, would have been 105. And actor Ed Begley Sr. would have been 121 years old. So that's it. Movies, quickly before we go. We've got movies. Brian gave us some already. He talked about those movies. Let me give you the ones that I have right now. Coming up on Turner Classic Movie. Woodstock is coming on. Woodstock, that was the 1969 outdoor rock concert. That was in 1969, but it was released in 1970. Woodstock, the movie. Turner Classic Movie, Saturday, that's tomorrow, 1:30 a.m. Eastern. If you're not up, please DVR it and watch it in its entirety. Casablanca from 1942 with Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman on Turner Classic Movies. That's Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern. And you have All About Eve in 1950, starring Betty Davis and Ann Baxter, Turner Classic Movies, Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And Gone with the Wind, of course, finally, 1939, Clark Gable and Vivian Lee. That's on Turner Classic Movies. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. And it's Turner Classic Movies, so we invite you to watch those movies. If you like to see other movies that may be interest to you, go to the Turner Classic Movie icon and check out the guide and check it out. There are many more, but these are my picks of the weekend. We hope that you enjoy them for this weekend. Brian also gave us some, of course. He gave us on FX at 11:10. It's going to be Cleopatra, and of course, I believe with Turner Classic Movies, you have The Candidate at 6 p.m. and let's see, and then you have what else do you have here? Okay, I can't read that one out. But anyway, those are the classics of the day, and we hope that you enjoy it. It's time for me to go, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoyed the show. I hope you have as well. We're going to be back here next week. Brian Camp and I will be here along with DJ Pete. Hopefully he'll be here as well with the 2020 feature with Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Of course, also DJ Pete with information on the people of notoriety and show business, reciting all the birthdays and talk about the history and so forth and so on. Other than that, I will be back here next week as well on Talk Back Live. Talk Back Live every Thursday at 8 p.m. Brian Camp will be with me with the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it's all right here on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. We thank you so much for being with us. We hope that we'll see you next week. Enjoy your day. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here next week. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.
You've been watching The Coffee Hour with Frank Allan. The producer has been Al Dale. Technical assistance, Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer, Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Coffee Hour.